Blessings, 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 blessings be unto you. This is Mercedes Warwick, and welcome to the Sacredness of Healing, an affiliate program of sacredqi.com. Usually, when I get a nudge to put some information out into the world, it comes in a series, and it comes usually in at least one day. Holding the high watch has been different. Holding the high watch or standing on sacred ground has been different. And so for a while now, I've just heard patience, 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 patience. So it seems like, and in this time, I have received a new symbol just a few days ago. I'm going to talk about that. I have received some healing, some guidance, some insight. I believe that I am a teacher who has had the experience. I've also been a teacher in my early days that have received the message and then put the message out into the world. But recently, it seems like I'm putting what I've learned, what I've actually experienced out into the world as well. And it's been a deep, rich experience, and I'm very grateful for it. So the timing is in October of 2023, and the war in the Middle East has ignited, and I have been not in holding the high ground. It's been, or the high watch, I'm sorry. It's been interesting. I have been in reflection, and I have been in reception. A lot of energy. Matter of fact, the energy was so vibrant and chaotic and peaceful and calm. I mean, it was just bouncing. Frequencies were just bouncing all over the time. I had to rest one day. I had to just sort of take myself off of the grid one day and really get some good rest. And after I came out of that rest, what came was the new symbol. And the new symbol is the intersection of the pathways and the crossroads. The intersection of the pathways and the crossroads. I'm going to talk about that and 4 other cards that became sort of a ignition by themselves. But to stay on topic, the first thing that guidance wanted me to know this morning very prominently is, as we're holding the high ground or high watch, I don't know, we're standing some ground and we're holding the watch. It does not take the place of prayer in your everyday practice, the prayer that you would do for persons, places, things, animals. Pray with a tree, pray with a stranger, pray for yourself, your communion with your daily communion. Every word is a prayer, every breath is a devotion. And so guidance wanted me to say very clearly that even as I was in reflection and reception, the receiving, I still did my daily practice. And so that is very, very, very important. And in this case, the holding the high watch was doing exactly that, not jumping in because there was something happening that was horrible in the world or horrible in your life, but actually pausing for a moment and being in that moment of reflection. And I wish I could tell you, let me see if I can just sort of pick it up. There wasn't an urging, there was just a quietness, a stillness within me. And when I get the calling to do, to stand on the sacred ground or be in the holding the high watch, there's a sense of sort of solidness and knowing. This was sort of more quiet. And what I kept seeing was all of these different layers. They actually showed me a cake. You know, there's cake with very thin layers of cake, and then icing, very thin layers of cake, then icing, very thin layer. They showed me that. And at the top right now, there's all of this energy. And I will say that in my experience, while there's all of this chaotic, angry, hateful, hurtful, harmful, violent energy happening on all different levels, wars, emotional, people are reacting, having opinions. What happens is I almost go into this tunnel vision, because for me, it's not a side or a policy. For me, it is holding that space that is the divine rite of passage almost. Because what happens is there's a lot of people in the world and a lot of activity going on in the world, and the experiences will be different. Our divinity, our calling, our actions, our reactions, our responses, the difference between reacting just like not thinking, and then the response, taking a pause, coming into your divinity, coming into your thought. The other thing that has been really prominent this cycle, I'll use that, is that I speak in terms of God and divine and taking action through that process or through that place. But there is divinity that is not spoken of as divinity. People just know what to do in their hearts, and they take the action, they move the step, they do the prayer, they help the person. It's not like that is a divine right action, right? And I find this a lot with men. I've had wonderful men in my life that just do the right thing in the right moment, at the in the exact right space at the exact right time. And it's beautiful to watch. But they would not be wording it, oh, I took divine action, I stood the high ground, I stood the high watch this morning and stood on sacred ground and then prayed and then I decided to do this. Yes, there's men in the world that will do that. But there's people living everyday lives, just being in the good and the very good, the divine right action. And they just move and they know, they have a knowing, right? So the reason why there was this pause was because there were so many different points of view coming. Another one was karma. I heard karma like 5 times in one day. And when I hear a word like that, and that frequently being repeated from all different places, I just sit for a moment. And this card, this ignition, really came to life, because so often we find ourselves in places, or we've taken an action, or in spiritual language, we're on a journey, but we're in a cycle of life, we're in a moment of life, and then we make a choice, and it's still divine, even if we react, maybe even poorly, explosively, impulsively. It's still a divine act. And so this word karma, and then I just felt like we need to start looking at the word karma differently. Some people say what goes around comes around, the law of cause and effect. But there was even a softening of that, because what has happened throughout our lifetime is a part of this moment. We're not looking back on it, we're being in the present moment, but we may be in a moment where there's 2 paths, right? And we're looking and we're trying to decide which path to take, right? The pathway, the learning, the blessing, the action, the prayer, the knowing, the exact right thing, right? But all these crossroads come, and we end up having to make choices. And in this world, the hard thing, the really, really hard thing, is to not take a position, just make the choice to be a divine act. How do I stand in a moment and not be Republican or Democrat, right? How do I stand in a moment and just be, And then when we take an action, know it, own it, be it, learn from it. I heard a series of words this morning, and I thought it was very interesting. I heard trespass, regress, access, impasse. There's a whole series. I didn't write them down. Egress, assess, and guidance was gently guided me to what our blessing is going to be for the holding the high watch. Be the peace that I want to see in the world. Gandhi, right? But it was be the healer I want to see in the world. Be the peace I want to be in the world. Be the love I want to see in the world. Be the healer I want to see in the world. Be the love I want to see in the world. Be the light. Be the catalyst I'd like to see in the world. Be the life and the living that I'd like to see in the world. And to do that, to be in that space of personal hygiene, of reflection, of ownership, of responsibility, to be open enough to have the Sacred Heart open enough to be able to collect or recollect, right? Recollect, recognize, receive. That is the beauty of the high watch. The next really prominent, matter of fact, I changed the name of the card. It was so prominent. The ignition is the beacon of light. And that is the high watch, right? And I showed me a lighthouse. And I looked some things up over the last couple of days. This is not new information. A lot of people have had it, right? It's just now it's time for me to put it out, so maybe my vibration and the way I'm saying it will touch somebody. But it's out there. Google beacon of light and you'll see lighthouses pop up, but I didn't know any of this, so I'm sitting there and this lighthouse pops up. But the message was, the lighthouse stands. It is solid. It is a foundation. It is a refuge. And it beams its light out and up, up and out. There is a wide, the light will shine and move, up and down and radiate out. We all have the opportunity to be that beacon, to be that pillar, that refuge. And whoever comes into the lighthouse is not asked for, at least in my vision, has not been asked for citizenship or cultural identity, gender. It's just open. It's open. It's an open refuge of safety, security, strength. There may be some food, nourishment, right? And that's why as we hold the high watch and we're holding that strength, I finally saw lighthouses, beacons. I am the beacon. I am the beacon. I am the beacon. and my light may be peace. My light may be the allness. My light may be the healer. My light may be the feminine nourisher. My light may be the action principle. My light shines. And I saw like Andonieshkina, like the universe at night full of stars. I saw the stars on Earth. Like I saw the Earth as this blanket of just like the sky, the night sky. And then I saw all these brilliant points of light throughout the world, right? So I am the beacon. I am the light. I am the strength that I'd like to see in this world. Okay? When any two energies come together, there is an ignition. And it doesn't have to be people to people. It could be, the example that I've used in all of these years has been a person interacting with a canvas to make art, or a person looking at the art that was made, and how that person feels and gets touched, moved, enhanced. And it's called the third energy. It's how I sign my paintings. 1 + 1 = 3. When any two energies come together that are unique and individualized, when they come together, they spark, they ignite a third energy that is also unique and individualized. And so just in standing as the beacon, holding the high watch and standing on sacred ground, how we are in communion with the earth, with the frequencies, with our divine, with another person. You can be the lighthouse for another person in a moment. That sparks new energy. That sparks new energy. You know, every breath is a devotion, every word is a prayer. Every moment is now, right? That sparks new energy. So what has happened as I've been in reflection and receiving, has it really personified almost what holding the high watch can be for me, can be hopefully for you. So as we close our eyes, let there be. Let there be. Let there be peace and healing, love, the cherishing of humanity, light, illumination, wisdom. Anonoyeke, now that's a beautiful one. I am the wisdom that I'd like to see in this world. Let it be, let it be, let it be, so be this done. So just taking a deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose, and remembering breath. Just feeling the breath coming in, becoming aware. I flow the breath within me. I flow the breath to me. I flow the breath as me. And I flow this breath for me. Let me be the peace that I'd like to see in the world. Breathe in. Exhale. I am the peace. I am the beacon. I am the lighthouse and the storehouse. Peace be unto this world. I am. I am. I am. Long inhalation. I am. Exhale. Reflection, recollection, receiving, refuge, these are the facets of the divine to bring into your awareness and consciousness and individualize for yourself. To be in the reconnaissance came up. That's an interesting one. Reknowing. The reknowing. So we have been gifted words to frequencies. Let's call them frequencies, ignitions. We've been gifted these to allow us to be in purpose and in the pause and in the rest and in the patience as we move into this high watch and we hold the sacred ground. And we release regret, karma, limitation, because the vision that you are holding ground for may be bigger than what you think your resources are. And that actually happened to me. I haven't told that story yet. But I had a vision of peace. And I was thinking, how would I institute that, instigate it, initiate it, ignite it? It's way bigger than me. Then you just hold the high watch for that vision. And you smile and you know that if I could see it, others have seen it. So you hold the ground for its birth, its rebirth, to come into earth. And I'll do another video on the solution, but it's bringing that energy into form. As you're breathing, just feel the rhythm, and inhale, exhale, slowly opening your eyes, inhale, exhale, one more time, inhale, and exhale. So, I've been given some things to do going into this fall season. I love this time of year, and I'm grateful that I have some energy. So we'll see what is going to come forth, but it will be in support of holding the high watch and standing on the sacred ground. So I hope you'll be present with me. Blessings be unto you. Namaste. We give thanks for the glorious wisdom that has come forward during this time. Amen.